going on? Thanks for checking out this video. So, the Twitter saga has been long and intense, with a lot of uncertainty, but there's also been plenty to laugh at. Plenty of woke people and celebrities throwing hissy fits and despairing over the prospect of Elon Musk taking over and promising to transform Twitter into a more fairly and evenly moderated digital town square. And while I've been pretty outspoken on this channel of my support of the desperately needed changes to the platform, I can't say that I'm filled with as much confidence as I had previously, though I didn't have that much to begin with. I never wanted to insinuate that Elon Musk was some kind of savior or anything. I just simply hoped that he would be a man of his word. That's all. Now, to start things off, there's some good news that dropped yesterday afternoon, though it hit while I was already well into working on a video, and I just didn't have enough time to get to it. But word had come out that the biggest culling to the Twitter staff so far would be hitting this morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And oh boy, did Elon follow through on that. Because as of a few hours ago, around 3,700 employees were axed simultaneously. That's nearly half of Twitter's global workforce, all in one fell swoop. Now, it isn't the 75% as was originally reported, but that was never even actually confirmed by Elon himself. Half of the entire workforce is still massive and was desperately needed. So, without wasting any more time, let's dive in. Revealed. Dreaded Elon Musk email that 3,700 Twitter employees received today, as he promises to pay them until February and lashes out at woke activists for driving away advertisers. So, we'll talk about the advertisers being driven away later. Now, this is a huge article, so I'll just try to stick to the juicy parts. I don't want to bore you to death. Chief Twit, Elon Musk, has fired off a blunt email to 3,700 Twitter workers telling them that they are fired. You're fired. Will remain on the payroll until at least January as he skirts California's tough workers law. Twitter employees have started to receive the email to let them know whether they are among half the workforce set to be called on Friday at 4 p.m. GMT, 12 p.m. EST, and 9 a.m. PST. Those who were selected to stay have been informed that the office will remain closed until November 7th, and have been urged to refrain from discussing confidential company information. Anyone who has found themselves out of a job has been told that they will continue to be employed by Twitter until either January or February 2nd next year, depending on their role, though November 4th will be their last working day at the company. They are not expected to work and will have their access to Twitter systems deactivated, though some employees reported being kicked out of their accounts almost 12 hours before. However, the internal memo instructs staff leaving the company that they are still expected to comply with the employee playbook and code of conduct while they remain on gardening leave. Now, this all seems to be pretty standard procedure, I would imagine, after culling this massive. Tightening security to ensure no one returns to go postal or any kind of organized uprising. As insane as that sounds, I wouldn't put it past the people who support fiery but mostly peaceful protests. Now, here are the two emails that were sent out to employees earlier today, indicating whether they were good or shit out of luck for a job. As you can see, they're both really long, so I'm not going to read them or else nobody will watch the entirety of this video. But if you're really curious what was in them, you can pause the video to read. Moving on. The company has reportedly fired 85% of their employees in India and 90% of those in Asia, with public relations and communications teams down to 2 people. Damn, so that's pretty surprising. I was wondering how many of the foreign employees would be cut, so I'm glad to see it's such a high number. That's pretty much all of the employees in Asia and India. Wow. According to the Wall Street Journal, some staff were told that they would have a separation date in January rather than February. They were also informed that they would receive 1 month's base pay and severance approximately 45 days after the termination date, in addition to providing instructions for returning company property such as laptops. It is unclear if employees should expect to receive their year-end bonuses, which historically have been based on individual and company performance. Musk joked about overpaying for Twitter during a surprise appearance at a conference as emails started rolling out to inform staff of mass layoffs. Speaking at the Barron Investment Conference, the billionaire said that him trying to get out of the deal was like a scene from Godfather. He said, I think most people would say, given how market has evolved this year, the price is on the high side. Musk laid out his plan for the future of the company, saying that the layoffs should save them $400 million a year, and doubled down on his plans to charge verified users $8 a month. The Tesla CEO said that recouping the money he spent on the company would be very difficult to achieve, but added that he believes that Twitter will become one of the most valuable companies in the world. Yeah, well, it's good to hear how much money it's going to save them each year, as they're probably going to need it. So as of the recording of this video, that's basically all we know so far on the layoffs front. There's not much more for me to add to this, though I'm sure the news will be pouring out all day. Now, that's basically where the good news ends, and this is where things start to get very frustrating. So, assuming you already know, but in case you don't, that Elon was trying to comfort advertisers, by stating that anyone who had been previously banned from the platform would not be allowed back on until his new Twitter Moderation Council was formed and had gathered to discuss what the plans would be on the front going forward. And that's all fine. Sounds like a common sense plan. After all, I agree that the platform cannot be an all-out free-for-all, just like laws exist for a reason. So he promised that his new council would have a wide range of voices from all parts of the political spectrum. And that sounds good, it should be like that. Now, as far as I know, he still has not formed this council, but considering these are the people he is currently having discussions with, on how Twitter will be moderated going forward is not encouraging at all. I mean, look at this crap. You got 2 members of the ADL, which is a ridiculously powerful organization with a penchant for censorship. We got the co-CEO of the Free Press and member of the freaking Facebook Oversight Board. We got someone from the NAACP and the George W. Bush Presidential Center. So yeah, hardly the kind of people you want to see if you're hoping for Twitter, to be more evenly moderated. I mean, how the heck is he supposed to instill any confidence that things are actually going to change? That Twitter will be more fairly moderated when he's meeting with people like this? And even worse, this Yoel Roth guy that you can see up here. I mentioned him in a previous video. And this is the guy who is now in charge of Twitter's head of safety and integrity. But it turns out this guy's just a far left nut with a tremendous loathing of conservatives. I mean, Elon seems to be very impressed with him, though. He even put out a tweet saying he has full confidence in this guy, even after being shown Yoel's history of very angry tweets. I can imagine the guy's doing a good job of keeping his mouth shut for now, but opinions as strong as these, don't just go away. At least not easily. I wouldn't call for him to be thrown off of Twitter altogether. He should always be allowed to remain on there to express his wretched opinions. But being the head of Twitter's safety and integrity? No way. Called Trump a nazi and racist tangerine. Wow, that guy sure does love throwing those buzzwords around. Not good at all. So there are certain creators who would say we're the ones having a meltdown for being disappointed about this, which is totally ridiculous. It's completely understandable to be pissed off over this. Yes, I understand this is still just the beginning of this whole acquisition process, but all I'm saying is it's far from being off to a good start. And then, of course, there are all these massive woke corporations, who have already halted all of their advertising on the platform. Last I reported on this, it was only GM that had done so. Now, in addition to them, we have Audi, General Mills, who also manufactures Pillsbury, Betty Crocker, and Haagen-Dazs ice cream. We also have Oreo maker Mondelez International, and a certain Poke manufacturer. Gee, I didn't see that one coming. All of these companies have backed off, and it seriously pissed Elon off, as you can see his tweet here. Twitter has had a massive drop in revenue due to activist groups pressuring advertisers, even though nothing has changed with content moderation and we did everything we could to appease the activists. Extremely messed up. They're trying to destroy free speech in America. Yeah, see, this is exactly what I was talking about when I said that there would most definitely be some kind of outside intervention, that would show itself to interfere with his plans of a free speech Twitter. This is not an accident, and they know exactly what they're doing and what they're going to get out of it. They're clearly trying to force Elon's hand, and it's BS. And no, I'm not confident at all that, all these advertisers will just come back and everything will be fine. But it's still early. Hopefully I'm proven wrong. And it's also possible that the new Twitter Blues $8 a month fee will be extremely popular. And, it might end up making up a good chunk of that lost revenue. Possibly even more. We'll just have to wait and see. I just really hope Elon doesn't just roll over for these companies. So, time will tell. Anyway, that's about it. Let me know what you think of all this. Are you losing confidence here like me? Or did you have none to begin with? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, like and share the video. and consider subscribing if you enjoy my content. And I'll catch you all later.